flying through the wind, rubber on the road, heading down that highway to my code. 2 wheels and an engine is all I need. I'm running on caffeine and gasoline. I'm running on caffeine and gasoline.
Honestly, like at this point, I was getting a little discouraged because, you know, after doing this for almost a year and a half, close to 2 years, I just couldn't get this thing running. So when I was looking at this bike with David in Las Cruces and Andy, we kicked it over. There was spark, but it was very intermittent. I didn't really think it was going to get this deep into it. Asked Joe to come over so we can kind of kick it over and get it dialed in. I really didn't think it was going to kick over. You know, it's easy to get discouraged when you work on these old vintage bikes or hot rods.
Right, so right now the machine is at top dead center here, and here, the crank.
Luckily, Joe is one of those old school mechanics that just knows every little trick of the trade. Together, we got this thing dialed in, and he's really good with the old school like electronics and stuff. Ready?
Now just kick it through slow.
Once we gave it a couple kicks, a little bit of juice, that thing fired up, and I was really kind of shocked and amazed. I think I gave Joe a big, you know, kiss on the cheek.
We're out of gas.
This isn't a smoke box. This is 2-stroke. You smell that?
I do.
There's smoke all over the place. This thing probably had about like 20 years of sitting at the bottom of it, so it's smoking like crazy, which is what you want to see out of a 2-stroke, obviously. Like old man Ronnie said, if it's not smoking, you got problems on a 2-stroke.
Going on. It's just a tune and run now. That's basically what it is.
And again, this is going to be like a resto to use and operate. It's not like a restoration, period correct restoration, because again, everything else got thrown out. So
there's no fun in that.
So we're expecting this thing to run top notch, and I'm excited to see what this car is going to do on this bike.
Joe and Thaison finally got the Husky turning over and running pretty good. So we're gonna head out to the west side here in Albuquerque, out in the desert, and try and shake down that Husky a little bit, see how it really is running, and see if it's gonna be, you know, ready for Built Well 100. We'll see, you know, you never know with vintage bikes.
Started kind of getting on the throttle, you know, and the bike was running good for a little bit. I think I had maybe 35, 45 minutes, but I did notice that the throttle and the idle was going up and down pretty significantly, and then all of a sudden it just killed power, just died automatically.
What's up? My carb came off.
That boot that I threw on there, it was good, but there was just too much weight on that carb. It's a newer carb, it's a Mikuni, it's pretty big, and it was too much weight. And basically the clamps kind of pinched together and just kind of popped that thing off.
You can't get fuel into your motor without that.
Yeah, thank you. It felt like it was kind of idling kind of high anyways.
Was it?
Yeah.
So this is actually the point of doing these shakedown runs, to see if these things are gonna rattle completely apart, or, you know, if they're gonna be able to handle this desert stuff. So, you know, with Thaison's Husky, it was interesting to see that the carb actually was a little too heavy for the bike, and needs to be safety wired, or a different method of putting that carburetor on there. still have to get the motor into the Bull Taco frame here. Got all the parts pretty much. Been working on the motor, putting a new carburetor on it. So it's going to be a minute before I get this bike out on the desert to get a little shakedown run. So I've been running this little XT 125 just to kind of get my bearings again in the dirt, make sure my stamina is up to par for this 75-mile race that we're going to have to do in April.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh shit! I thought it was more room!
So this cold weather just started kind of coming in. We actually got our first snowfall. We were planning on kind of doing some camping just to test out some new gear. We're doing a new lineup of like vintage leather gloves, and so we're gonna go out to the mountains, ride some bikes out to the mountains, test this stuff out. But I want to try and get out there before it starts snowing, because it looks like it's going to start getting bad here soon. I think we maybe have another week or two before winter fully hits us.
You okay?
I'm good. Right to the nads.
This is pretty rough.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened because I was a little bit ahead, and then when I turned the corner, looked back, you guys were gone. So I waited for a few minutes and walked back, and I saw your bike kind of stuck in that rut.
It was stuck in the rut.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, we hit those ruts. There was like 4 or 5 ruts, right, really deep, and I was just trying to find my way through it, and the exhaust pipes on either side started rubbing the edge, and just kind of like I couldn't get out because it was like hitting either side of the exhaust.
Yeah.
And then Ben went down behind me.
Yeah, the guys, they invited me along, and I expected it to be a pretty easy trip, but once we hit that mud, man, I was down and out. I should have given Steve some more space, and as soon as we went into that rut, I had to slow down for him, and that's when I pitched right over.
So what do you think, man? You wanted to get one more like winter ride.
Yeah.
The season's over.
Yeah,
It
man.
snowed already. There's snow, obviously.
Snow,
there's snow everywhere.
I wasn't expecting it to be this cold, but it's nice, man. I mean, it's going to be a cold winter. We can tell. You can tell, just by like the cold air and snow on the ground. Trees are changing leaves.
It's beautiful.
It's just that time, but we got a fire going. We're going to be warm tonight.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, me too.
It was nice. Beautiful here. What is this, Cibola National Forest?
Yeah, National Forest.
Beautiful.
It's about 45 minutes out.
Yeah. Ready to hit some more dirt? Or did you get enough?
Maybe warm up a little bit, and we'll hit some more
All right.
on the way back.
Check it out. Let's try it, yeah. I mean, we all have full tanks, but it's still day, so...
You break anything?
I don't think so.
Can I put your kickstand down?
Later, Chuck.
You're
On?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, all in all, it was a pretty great little trip out to the mountains. A little slippery early on when the snow had melted and refroze overnight. Had a couple little mishaps, but you know, between Ben having his little crash and Thaison doing a little turn and crashing, you know, everybody ended up coming out of it pretty safe. Everybody was safe. We had a great camping trip. The rig coffee was delicious and the gear worked out great, and just caught the highway back to Albuquerque, and looking forward to doing it again real soon.
You know, it was kind of cool. We've done Americano for a couple of years now, and myself being like a old school, at this point, old school punk rocker, kind of like greaser kid growing up, I was always big fans of like the local, we had a really cool local rockabilly, psychobilly kind of scene here in Albuquerque for a long time, and 12 Step Rebels was kind of like on the forefront of that for a long time here in Albuquerque. We just, you know, took a shot, asked Jake from 12 Step Rebels to come out, and they came out and they rocked the show. It was awesome. This place was packed. There was a ton of like friends from back in the day that showed up, and it was kind of cool to get that like old school greaser punk, you know, community back together for a cool Americana night.
I've been seeing the 12 Step Rebels since I was about 16 years old, and now it was totally cool to be able to bring my son to see them for the very first time. Never seen them play an acoustic set. What did you think, buddy?
I liked them.
Did you like the guitar better, the bass better? You like the whole thing? What'd you like?
I like the whole thing, but I like the bass though.
You like watching the bass? I love watching the bass play. I love how he slaps the strings. But it was definitely, it was a good crowd, showed up, everybody was super positive, and we're looking forward to coming back the first Friday of every month throughout the summer. So what do you think? Are we going to come back?
Yes.
So October is like our favorite month. We love everything about October. You know, you've got Halloween, you've got the race season sort of coming to an end, flat track, road racing. Everything sort of winds down in October. The weather's great for riding, plan all kinds of really cool trips to get out on the road, to go visit some places you haven't seen that you wouldn't have gone in the summer because it's so hot. So really looking forward to October. But October also becomes chaos for us. So this year, one of the local celebrity weathermen, Steve Stucker, was actually retiring. So our buddy Chris Beck, who works for KOB TV, reached out to us and asked us if we wanted to be a part of it. We have a hard time saying no about stuff, so we said sure. So we decided to stay the night before. We camped in the parking lot, which was kind of weird when the police showed up, but we camped there, got up early, started serving coffee to everybody, and made it on the local news. What do you know?
Have a couple of classics out here, a BMW from the mid-70s, 1975, I think. And this Ducati is a 2010, but it's styled in the throwback into the 70s, and I can't quite get my leg up over the top. Maybe we'll save that after I've done my morning stretches. We've got Rusta's Gold Coffee out here with coffee and donuts, and you guys do a big motorcycle get-together. What'd you say, the fourth Sunday?
Fourth Sunday of every month through summer, ending in October with a big holiday event. So Monster Mash this year was our second annual, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. The word spreads. We combine our moto meetups and our cars and coffee, and it's as close to Halloween as we can get it, and it usually works out really well. We do it, you know, for the kids. We have trunk or treat, old vintage cars, really cool custom stuff comes out with bags of candy for the kids. The motorcycles roll out, they get decorated, and it just becomes probably one of the biggest Halloween events here in Albuquerque at this point.
Hi, my name's Richard. This is my wife Liz. This is our 59 Pontiac Catalina. And and we just got this one running on the road, registered and insured, and I think this is its 3rd time into town, coming out to the Rust is Gold trunk or treat here.
2nd annual Monster Mash, it was big.
Huge, dude. Every year it gets bigger. It's only the 2nd year, but it's bigger than last year.
It was. We had a band, a surf band, which sounded awesome.
Yeah.
Tons of cool hot rods, motorcycles.
Yep.
A lot of the regular stuff showed up.
Yep.
But a lot of kind of new things showed up too.
Yeah. Did you see this, man? There's some killer stuff here.
Yeah. Cool rods, hot rods.
What'd you think? You want to do it again next year?
I don't know how we're going to top this off. I did get a little worried when I saw the fire department come in.
Yeah.
There was like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they're on their mics and stuff, and I was like, oh man, please don't shut us down today.
Yeah.
So we might get a complaint somewhere down the road.
I think we gave them some good discounts. I think we'll be okay.
Gave them some almost free coffee, so they should be happy.
I don't know, man. These things are always like mind-blowing to me because I feel like we always have an expectation of what they're going to be like. You know, we hope people show up, and you know, they did. Today was like, you know, lots of kids, which is one of the big things for us.
Sure. And it was safe. You know, no motorcycles hitting kids or pedestrians, which we like to see. But,
my favorite event. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. It's our favorite. The staff, hopefully it's their favorite too.
I'm sure they hate it, actually. They don't get to come out and check out all the cool stuff, so I think they probably like, God, I can't wait till this is over. But they kicked ass, as usual. The staff was great.
Anarchy in the UK. So yeah, this year for Flat Track didn't go exactly the way we had planned, and it had nothing to do with us. You know, we had, as a Rust is Gold racing team, like we did everything we possibly could. We built out bikes, put a lot of time and effort and money into these bikes. We were starting to get pretty good. We were progressing. We were getting fast. We were starting to kind of pick up some steam. The community was getting going. And then right in the middle of our season, maybe with like 3 races in, the owner of the track, they got new ownership this year. He just pulled the plug. You know, having to end that season, we pivoted and we looked at it and said, okay, well, you know, if Flat Track's going to end and we have a cool place that we could practice at, we won't have a race season, but what we can do is probably build some vintage dirt bikes and maybe do some desert racing. You know, we'll do that in conjunction with the road racing, and we'll just get back to vintage, you know, desert racing, kind of how we started this whole thing. This is one of those things, like, we're used to this. Steve and I are used to things not exactly lining up for us, you know what I mean? That's the cost of like doing business and racing and everything else. But like I said before, we've been down this road a couple times, so the trick is to pick yourself back up. And luckily, something kind of landed on our lap. A good buddy of ours, Shawn, who'd only been racing like a couple years with us, you know, stepped up. He said he was down to kind of help out the community, build this practice track, and you know, it's like they say, when one window closes, another door opens.
I'm Shawn Benavides. I started flat tracking probably mid-season last year. Found out I loved it. Then I had some property that I'd purchased a long time ago. And so I decided to build a practice track, and here we are. And so we built this, and a few of my friends started to want to come out, and now it's looking like it's going to be a thing. So
been one of those things where no matter how hard we've tried to like get something going, something happens, an obstacle falls in front of us. But you know, this year it's just gonna be one of those things where we just pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and go and do something. Like Thaison was saying, you know, when Shawn came and said that he was putting a practice track together, it was kind of perfect timing because things kind of fell apart at the flat track. And today we're out here, which is really the awesome thing. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Racing is what we look forward to. This is what we do on our weekends. You know, we don't go out drinking, we don't go out partying. This is what we do, and we tried to build up this community, and we were getting, you know, pretty good traction with it. And when something like this is pulled out from under you, you kind of have to pick up the pieces and go again. And this isn't the first time that we've had something like this happen to us at Rust is Gold, you know, how we had to kind of adapt and pivot, and that's basically what we did after that one time.
What we wanted from the get-go, and you know, sometimes along the way as we get into racing and we get into business and we kind of lose sight of like the origins of what we were trying to do, build a community, do it in a kind of organic fashion with a beautiful scenery like this. This is kind of what we initially wanted to do, and we just kind of lost our way I think as we get so wrapped up in the racing aspect and the checkered flags and stuff, and I think maybe this is kind of a weird blessing in disguise where it's going to take us back to our roots, you know?
I think it was amazing, dude. I think it's what we've been talking about for so long, you know, someplace that felt like our own, kinda. And this is totally kind of our own, you know? It can just be motorcycles all by themselves. It can be us just hanging out, doing whatever we want, grilling, you know, camping, you know, just doing some fun stuff, making it a whole weekend if we wanted to, you know, and just get out here with our friends. I think you can get, you know, bigger than we want it to if we're not careful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but you know what they say, right? Go big or go home. And we like to do it big, so I think we're gonna have to, I mean, we got a lot on our plate, but I think this is one of those times when I think we have to step up because we love it, you know, we don't want to see this thing die. We don't want to see vintage flat track, vintage road racing. We don't want to see any of this die. And again, this isn't for us to make money with. This is us for us to keep this thing that we love so much alive and together. You know, I think sometimes, I hate to say it, but like, we don't step up and do this, then who else is going to do it, right? And I think maybe, you know, the Gene Romeros and the Steve McQueens of the world would want us to do this. Maybe they're looking down upon us and thinking to themselves, like, I'm glad those Russ's Gold guys are keeping it together.